Title: The Basement Whispers. The morning after Skylar's 17th birthday began with an uneasy stillness. Normally, the smell of pancakes would drift up the stairs, and she would rush into the kitchen, laughing, her parents smiling back at her like the perfect family they always seemed to be. But today there was no laughter, no smell of breakfast. Instead, a harsh, unfamiliar screaming ripped through the air downstairs. Skylar jolted upright, her heart hammering. She shoved her feet into her worn house shoes and slipped out of her room, the old floorboards creaking under her weight as she crept toward the stairs. At the bottom, she froze. Her mother and father stood near the door, arguing with a man she'd never seen before. His face was pale with fury and fear, his hands trembling. "I'm looking for my brother and his wife," he yelled, his voice raw. "They live here." Her parents' faces stayed strangely calm. "You're mistaken," her mother said sharply. "They don't live here." Then the man spoke their names. Her parents' names. Skylar's stomach lurched. Those were the names her parents always claimed as their own. The same names this stranger was frantically calling out. The man's eyes flicked up the stairs. He saw her standing in the hallway. His expression twisted, as though he were looking at a ghost. Before Skylar could move, her father spun around, slammed the door shut in the man's face, and bolted up the stairs. He grabbed her by the arm so hard it hurt and dragged her back to her room. "Stay in here," he hissed, shoving her onto the bed. "Don't come out unless I say so." He slammed the door. Skylar's breath came in shallow gasps. She crept to the door, pressing her ear to the wood. Downstairs, her parents' voices rose again, a frantic whisper argument. "How did he find us?" her mother hissed. Then, a loud bang. Silence. Footsteps creaked down the stairs into the basement. Skylar's pulse thudded against her ribs. She heard muffled screams, the sound of someone struggling. Her parents' voices echoed from below. "Stop making noise." Skylar squeezed her eyes shut, trying to convince herself it was just the dogs, that it was nothing, that her family was still normal. But deep down, she knew it wasn't the dogs, and the whispers from the basement wouldn't stop.